My room's a mess. Planet Comic-Con is next week, and I'm working on Skyrim and Princess Peach and Jester. My goal is to get 2 of the 3 done, definitely Skyrim, by Planet Comic-Con. So, excuse my messy, I'm always excusing it, but I swear it is tidy between. I am a firm believer in cleaning up after one project, before starting another, but when Crunch begins, out the window. What's up, pals? I hope you're all having an amazing week and an amazing weekend that just passed. It is Monday. I am tired, but it's like 7 a.m. and I've already gotten so much done, so we on it. I wanted to chat today about cosplay making versus buying. This is one of those topics that some people had suggested in comments of previous videos, and that I feel like we are always talking about in cosplay. Like, are you a cosplayer if you buy your costumes? Are you this? Are you that? And so I wanted to tell you my feels about that. I want to preface this with saying that I think that people take cosplay way too seriously. Most of us are grown-ass adults in costumes. It's supposed to be fun. Play is in the term. Cosplay, costume, play, cosplay. So I think we take it way too seriously sometimes, and I'm guilty of that as well. In the past, I have taken myself far too seriously. But yeah, you're a cosplayer. If you put a costume on your body and you go out to a convention or a photo shoot or whatever, you are cosplaying. I think vocabulary is pretty important. So everyone who puts a costume on is a cosplayer. And that includes like original designs. And I would say it includes boudoir cosplay. That is a thing that exists, erotic cosplay. The scope of cosplay is so incredibly wide now, which is an incredible thing. I don't think that ruins cosplay, that there's so many different ways to cosplay. But some people do, and I understand that, but I just don't agree. I think that if you put a costume on, it's cosplay, you are a cosplayer. Are you a maker? I think that the term maker is, you know, if you make your whole costume, if you made part of a costume, if you altered a bought costume, because there is definitely an art to altering costumes. If you purchase your costume, but you styled your wig and that you made that alteration. So yes, you would be a maker. I also think that we get in people's business too much about these terms we use. Like, again, cosplay is supposed to be for fun. But if someone, it's like in the past when I got started and I got started making, I would call myself a maker. But because I hadn't made, or a creator, I hadn't made these like big armor costumes yet because my skill level wasn't there, I got a lot of flack for considering myself a maker, which made me feel less than, and then made me feel like I couldn't make, or I wasn't accepted in the craftsmanship community. It made me feel like there wasn't a place there for me. And that really sucked getting started that way. I think that however other people, like, we're not the vocab bio police, okay? If you go on Instagram and it says like cosplayer, maker, and you're like, well, I don't think you made anything in these photos. Like, you're spending too much time worrying about what that person's doing. Don't worry about it. It doesn't affect you. When it does affect people, I would say is in terms of like cosplay contests, which I just did a whole video about judging cosplay contests. If you're interested in that, I'll put the thingy here somewhere. Absolutely, again, I reiterate from that video, if you're entering a craftsmanship contest in a costume that you purchased and you didn't alter whatsoever, and like, you know, craftsmanship contests have different thresholds, so it's like you have to have made at least 50% of your costume and you didn't, but you lie about making that costume, then that does impact the community. That does impact the craftsmanship community and the makers, because maybe the judges will miss that and you'll win an award, and that's not really fair. I think that the reason that often people who don't make their costumes aren't considered cosplayers, or people will say like, well, you're not a cosplayer because you didn't make that, whatever it may be, just comes from ego. And I firmly believe that everyone kind of has like that freshman year of cosplay, or most people, where you first get into it and get ingrained in the community, and you get a little like egotistic, like you're a little like, look at me, I'm a cosplayer, I made this. Especially when you start making things and you're really proud of yourself, and I think sometimes that crosses the boundary from being like proud of yourself to being like oppressive to other people in our community and pushing them out or treating them like they're not a part of it because they didn't do it the way you do it. And so I think this all goes back to just respecting that cosplay is costume play. I know it's like a career field for some now. People do it full time. That's a whole different discussion on whether that ruined cosplay. I disagree, but maybe I'm biased because this is my job. I just think that the main problem is that and I think this on a lot of things in life, like we just don't know how to mind our business. It doesn't affect you how somebody else is cosplaying. It doesn't affect you if somebody else buys their costume. I think a lot of that online discourse comes from like jealousy, which we all feel. Everyone gets jealous sometimes, but maybe you made a really dope like Deku cosplay. You made all of it by hand. You put like 200 hours into it, the best thing you've ever made. And then you post it and, you know, it gets some love. But then you see another creator or cosplayer who purchased theirs and took some really dope photos and puts it up, and their post gets more attention. That's often where I see they're not even a cosplayer. They're not, or if, especially when it's closet cosplay, that's a really big one, when people kind of transform into the character with just makeup or just stuff they found in their closet. That's often where I see that discourse is like, well, you didn't even do as much as I did and you got more attention, and that's not fair. The internet isn't fair. Like, the algorithms aren't fair. The internet isn't fair. We don't get to decide who gets the most attention online. I'm a firm believer of cheering for people who are on the top of the roller coaster. So analogy I use in a lot of my panels about being a content creator online when I'm talking about social media is that it's like a roller coaster, and sometimes it's your turn at the top, right? Sometimes you're having a week where you're killing it, your content's killing it, you're getting lots of new followers, people are really interested, but what goes up must come down. Sometimes you're gonna have a week where it's just not your week, it's someone else's turn at the top of the roller coaster. And instead of dwelling in it not being our turn, if we turn that energy into just like hyping up those people who are, you know, having that moment, or remembering how we feel when it's our turn at the top, and, you know, giving them the love we want during that time. I just think that makes such a huge difference, and that mindset makes a huge difference. But that's also a whole different discussion. My point just is that it's cosplay, whether it's closet cosplay, a makeup transformation, you bought it, you altered it, you made every piece. It's just not that serious. We're adults in costumes, and it's an awesome community. It's like, this is the most, I will stand by this till the day I die. Cosplay is the most supportive and inclusive community that I have ever been a part of. And that includes, like, I've had my fair share of bullying, and I've had all kinds of like negative experiences in cosplay, but the greater community, the positivity, the inclusiveness outweighs all of that every single day. So yeah, let's stop policing people. Let people cosplay how they feel. You're not the cosplay police. It doesn't matter if they don't look exactly like the character, if that makes them happy and they enjoy it. Like, that's what this is about. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be community. It's social. Cosplay also means different things to different people. For some people, it is an art form. For some people, it is, you know, a social life. For some people, it's everything they have. I think that's another big thing about like this pushing people out by policing what is and isn't cosplay is, for a lot of people, cosplay is the only place they have friends in a community. It's the only place they feel safe and comfortable being themselves. And when you're like policing them for whatever reason, or trying to dictate what is and isn't cosplay, you could really be hurting somebody in ways that you may not understand. So again, I think it just comes back to mind your own business. Let people cosplay how they want to cosplay. It doesn't affect you as long as they're honest during cosplay contests. Wait, one more point. One more point. We talk a lot about people being honest about whether they made or didn't make their costumes. If people didn't feel like they would be considered not a part of the community if they didn't make all of their costume, then they wouldn't lie about it. Because I know that when I first got started, there was a couple times where I didn't lie about making something, but I omitted that I didn't make it because I was so afraid that I wouldn't be included. That is something obviously I fixed. I believed in us all being honest, but I also do understand why people do feel the need to lie to feel included. And if we just chilled out and let people cosplay how they wanted to, that would probably stop as well. It's a symptom of the greater problem. Thanks for listening to me rant about what is and isn't cosplay. It's all cosplay. I missed my streams last week. I have some personal family stuff going on. Shout out to my Discord and Twitch fam for being so amazing and supportive and really being there for me when I needed it. I will be back to streaming regular this week. I am not leaving the country as I had thought. So yeah, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm gonna get to work on all of these costumes. Thank you to everyone who has joined Patreon and OnlyFans this month. It means the world to me that you guys are supporting my arts. Please subscribe, like, comment if there's anything else you'd like to hear me talk about. I have a lot of feels, so it's really nice that you guys want to know my feels about stuff. And if you do want to join our Discord fam, I like to protect our amazing community, so it is not free to jump into, just because I tried that once and we ended up with a ton of trolls, and I don't want that. I want to protect my pals. So you can join by being a Twitch sub, gets instant access any tier, joining OnlyFans, which is $3, or joining Patreon at the $1 tier or any tier. All tiers get Discord access. And once you're fam, you're fam. We don't remove you from there once your like sub or whatever ends. Hang out with us. I'm gonna get to work on some cosplay, and I'll see you guys at Planet Comic-Con next week, Kansas City. I will be a cosplay guest. It's one of my favorite shows to guest at. This will be my 4th year in a row, I think. I'm gonna have new costumes, lots of prints and merch available. I will be there all 3 days. And we're also doing a meetup. So April Gloria and I will be doing a live episode of our podcast, Hot Glue and Bobby Pins, which if you haven't watched that, there's always a playlist link down below. We're always open to suggestions on topics to talk about there, but we're going to be doing a live panel of that, like a live episode on a panel. That's also going to be our Discord and Twitch meet and greet. So if you would like to join that and get to know our other Discord pals and stuff, that would be amazing. Have the best week, stay positive, be kind to other people. Cosplay is fun. Whether you're making money or it's just a hobby, don't take yourself so seriously.